Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much to everybody who reached out to me over the past couple of months to ask why I've stopped making videos. Thank you so much. I'm really encouraged. I'm glad to know that it's helping people out there. So I am back with more videos. And today I'm going to be starting with the importance of having an emergency fund. Absolutely everybody must have an emergency fund, and yes, I am talking to you. So let me give you a scenario. If you were to have car troubles at the moment, or if your boiler was to break down, or God forbid, you became ill, you couldn't work and you weren't going to be getting any money from work, or you were to lose your job, what would you live on? How would you cope? If you do not have money at the moment that can see you through difficult times, then you need an emergency fund. So an emergency fund, as you probably are aware, is a safety net for the future, future unexpected expenses, which usually are quite stressful and usually quite expensive. So if you need to get an emergency fund, then you need to stay tuned. Okay, so how much do you need to have in your emergency fund? Well, the answer to that is really based on your circumstances and how much it's costing you to live. But the general rule of thumb is you need to have between 3 months and 6 months worth of your living expenses on a monthly basis in your emergency fund. So as an example, if you were living off £2,000 every month, then you'd need to have between £6,000 and £12,000 in your emergency fund. I know this sounds like a lot of money, but this is what it needs to be. Okay, I just want to really put a quick disclaimer. If you are struggling to make ends meet at the moment, so you're basically, your expenses are more than your income, and so there is no way that you would be able to put anything aside for an emergency, this video is not right for you yet. I would suggest you go back and watch my video on what benefits can I claim first, and then you can come back to this video at a later date. I know this is a difficult time for so many people. We are all feeling the pinch, but if you feel like you cannot afford to put anything away at the moment, you're just about making ends meet, trust me, there's always something that you can put away. So what I'm saying is put anything away. It doesn't matter how small you think it is. It's better to have a small emergency fund than not to have an emergency fund at all. Okay, so now let's talk about some quick tips on you being able to build a successful emergency fund. So the first thing I'd say is you need to have the money in an accessible account, but not too accessible. So you might have it in cash, but I wouldn't suggest having it where you could just go and dip into it. So you might think, oh, I don't know, I've run out of washing up liquid, it's an emergency, I need to get that money. So that's not what an emergency fund is for. It's literally in an emergency. So have the money accessible, but not all in cash. The second thing is, I would say to open a separate bank account or a separate savings account to your usual account, because then you don't want to get the money confused with your other spending money. So that's the second thing I'd suggest. If possible, have it in an interest-bearing account. So because interest rates are picking up now, you should be getting a bit more change on top of your change. The fourth thing is personally, so what I do, I have the account in a savings account, but it's an account that I can only access twice a year. So what this means is, if I want to take money out of this account, I really think to myself, is this an emergency? Because if I take money from it now, will I be able to take money from it again if there really is an emergency? So I don't touch that money unless it's absolutely necessary. And finally, what I would say is, if possible, automate the payments. So what I do, once again, personal preference, you don't have to. When I get paid, the money comes out directly before I even see it. That money doesn't exist to me. I don't even know I have it. So yeah, hopefully you found this video useful, and please do continue to share with people who you think might find it of benefit. And I'm just so thankful that you joined me today, and I'll catch you next time in the next one.